Hi guys, me and my trusty sidekick here. It's 11:22 and I'm still up, and it has been a long day and I am so tired and I should be in bed, but the house is dark and it's quiet and it's wonderful and everyone else is asleep and I've got it all to myself, and it's hard to go lay down in the bed without having some time to myself. The children are in bed. That's what my sister-in-law says when she has a rough day with kids. She goes, the children are in bed. So they're in bed, and I was so glad. It was an 8:30 bedtime tonight. No fireworks. Sorry. And I'll get around to that one. But we started out, the kids woke me up at 8:30. Uncle C was already up, but he tends to let me sleep in on the weekends for sure. And so I was still asleep. They got me up at 8:30, which is not bad. It's early for a Sunday, but not early for having kids around the house. So that was okay. So they got up and they were, going, are we going to swim today? Are we going to swim today? Blah, all of that. And we'd already given them the drill. Tomorrow morning we're going to get up, and the first thing we're going to do is have breakfast, and then we're going to get to work finishing the pool so that we can swim on the 4th. So they were excited. All of them started, Uncle Cece included, starting hollering out different things that they wanted for breakfast, and with all the requests, they wanted a huge breakfast. I said no. Cereal, banana. Sorry, cornflakes and bananas for you guys this morning. I'm not doing it, and I didn't feel bad about it. Not at all. So we got breakfast out of the way, got them into their clothes, and Uncle Cece dressed, and he went out with the kids to start on the pool while I got dressed, cleaned up from breakfast, made our bed, swept through the house. It took me about 10-15 minutes tops. It was a quick job. And so I, did all of that and grabbed my bottle of water and headed out to the backyard to help. Well, the kids were already tired. They were so miserable. They were tired and they were hot and their feet hurt and their whatever. And I said, well, if you die, we'll dig a hole and bury you in it. And I didn't care. No sympathy, had no sympathy for them. 10 or 15 minutes, please. So I told them, no, you're going to help. It does not matter. You're going to help. Everybody is going to work on this. So we did, and it was an absolute fight the whole time. Go pick up the rocks over there. You see those rocks? There's 4 rocks over there. Pick up one, walk away, and say, and sit down in the chair. They'd sit down in the chair. And it was like that, everything we asked them to do. And I had to talk Uncle Cece out of not allowing them to get in the pool at all after we got it set up. He was ready to say, no, you didn't help. You didn't do anything. Sorry, my microphone. He was this close to spanking time. But we made it through that. It took us about 4 hours, and we were able to, about 1 o'clock or 1-ish, we were able to get in the pool. It wasn't filled all the way up. It was about, if you were sitting in it, it was about maybe not waist deep, but it was getting there. So sat in the pool, and then I guess it was about 1:30 when we got in, and then about 2 2:30, but I didn't know what the time was. But about 2:30, I started getting hungry, and I asked Uncle Cece if he knew about what time it was, and he said, no, not really. So I got out of the pool that was only about halfway full, somewhere in there, or I wasn't even halfway full. So I got out of the pool, went in the laundry room. We have an outdoor laundry room, concrete floor with a door on it. So I went in there, pulled off of my wet clothes, because at that time we just got in with clothes on. Pulled off, well, the kids had their swimsuits on, but we didn't. We had just shorts and t-shirts. So I pulled off wet clothes and put on the robe that I had ready hanging on the hook, and went and hung those wet things across the little makeshift line I made, and went in and to check the time, and it was 2:20, and I went, oh my goodness. So I fixed everybody a picnic and took it out, and I guess the pool was about half full by then, but I took it out and pulled them out of the pool and let them eat lunch, and we had our lunch, and then let them get back in the pool, and they stayed in the pool till about 4 o'clock, and then we got out again, and we always like to get out, sit in chairs, let some of the excess water drip off before we change. So I decided, okay, we're going to clean up around the pool, and then the end of our carport, which is a catch-all, I decided, we're going to clean that up. 20 minutes, 15 or 20 minutes it took to do that, and they were griping the whole time. Pick that up, I would say, and then, now can I go in? Now can I go in? Now can I go in? And I wanted to scream obscenities, but I didn't, because I was dealing with children, so I didn't. I put on my happy face and said, in a moment, we got a little bit more to do. And that's really hard to do when you're frustrated and tired and bleh. So finally I got them to do enough that I just went, goodbye, change, and go inside. So one at a time they went in the laundry room and changed and asked 5 billion questions, but finally went inside, and I left them to Uncle Cece, and I finished up the carport and I hosed it down, and then I went inside and I sat down and I said, I'm going to watch a video. I'm going to watch one video. It's going to be about 10 minutes, and I don't want anyone to bother me. 15 times, I bet, in that 10 minutes. I'm telling you. Wanting to do something. What am I going to do now? What am I going to do now? So they drove me nuts today. Absolutely nuts. But for dinner, we roasted hot dogs. I fixed them, the skewer things, and put them out into roasting them on the grill, because the bonfire wasn't going to work with the plastic pool so close to it. So did that and had hot dogs, and Uncle Cece and I had hamburgers, which they were offered, but you can't really have fun and roast those over an open flame. So they chose hot dogs, and then afterwards we did s'mores with them over the open flame, and everything was really good. And then the minute they licked their fingers clean, it was more bitching and moaning and fighting with each other, and we sent them in, the house to throw trash away and wash their hands. And the minute one went in, and then the minute the second one went in, the little one cried and screamed, and then it was, she did this and he did that, and yeah, done with. So 8:30 bedtime. That's how our 4th of July went. No fireworks. Well, not the normal kind of fireworks, but for the most part they had a good time, a lot better time than we had. And they went to bed at 8:30, and we enjoyed